Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode is the vice presidential debate. Yeah, man, look. Let me say three things. Three things jumped off on that whole thing. One, both parties were trying to be gentlemen. Let's just keep it a buck. Both parties were trying to be gentlemen. They were quick to tell you they agreed with what the other person said. They were like, yo, just trying to be like, there was times where it got heated. There was funny looks. You know what I'm saying? When you saw the split screen, there was them looks they were giving each other. But at the end of the day, the whole thought was, we're going to be gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And which was a good look, because this election cycle, oh my God, it's so vicious and vile. So yeah, it was like, you know what I mean? That was a different vibe. It wasn't too much poking the bear. No really really questioning somebody else's whole joint. It was real, like, upstanding is the word I would like to use. Second, it was definitely, from a Vance standpoint, all about the immigrants. Immigrants were everywhere. Like, he threw immigrants in there for anything. School shootings, yeah, okay, on this situation, yeah, the parent got him a gun, but a lot of these kids is getting their guns from the immigrants. Jobs, it's the immigrants. Housing, it's the immigrants. The immigrants was blamed for every abortion. It's the immigrants taking them, like, across the state line to the next place. Immigrants was his whole joint. He wanted to show you that the Republicans have a strong stance on this whole immigration thing and the Democrats don't. The immigrants was the problem for everything. On the other side, Walz joint, he was just trying to show you he was the everyday man. He let you know he was in the union. He let you know he did this. He was a teacher. He was rocking over here. He know about the farm life. He put you in that situation. He was like, yo, my man's an everyday man. He's the average Joe. He's one of us. He tried to get you that off. They was trying to build these narratives. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud them for that. I applaud them for that. I gotta give it up for that. I'm gonna also say this. If you have anybody who came away from watching that, and I'm on Twitter while this joint is jumping. People have their stance. People have they got, no doubt. This is your guy. That's your guy. This is your guy. That's your guy. And you could try to flip it like, okay, yeah, my man's is up and your man's is lame. I got that. Here's the crazy thing about this. If you unbiasedly look at that, they did well. They did well. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that from a person who can't stand Vance. And it's not about none of the stuff that he's been doing since he was considered to be a vice president nominee. It's none of the stuff about finding out he had a hand in the Project 2025. It's the fact that he came up with a joint, a GoFundMe for a sickness, and then took all that money and put it into his campaign. I'm never letting that go. My hatred for that man is purely on that. And there's times I read the joint he said about Obama and how he felt like, his party should have really been less racist and less standoffish. I know about the whole joint where he was like, I'm not a Trump guy. All that's cool. Still, you did that. There's a whole tier of humanity, and you're at the bottom of that. You're with the bottom feeders on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a bottom feeder type dude to me for that. And I just can't. But that night, if you have never heard the clips from this dude, if you have never heard somebody talk about the stuff that this dude has said since this campaign has jumped off, you wouldn't have thought that those were the same two dudes. Vance did not come off like that. Like, even when it came back around for some of the same questions that he has had absurd answers to, he pulled back. He kept it real. He stepped in the real world and not the fringe world, and gave logical answers. You know what I'm saying? He gave logical political answers. That was just it was like, yo, this can't be the same dude. If you had no idea who Vance was, that was a perfect, matter of fact, scratch that, was a perfect. The first thing he did in his 2 minutes, which all of that was longer than 2 minutes. Both of them dudes had longer than 2 minutes. I'm like this, yo, when chicks be out here talking, I don't want no 2 minute, man. Them dudes was talking, I swear, for 5 minutes. So if 2 minutes is really like 5 minutes, girl, you getting it. What you complaining about? You getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was talking for a while. Like, that's 2 minutes? Shh. Okay. Alright, I can't even hold my breath for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I can only hold my breath for 2 minutes while I'm playing. 2 minutes and maybe 2 seconds. I had to start breathing and they were still talking. And they were like, and it was a good minute before they came back around and was like, your time's up. Nah, son. And then you have a minute to respond, and that felt like 3 minutes. So yeah, maybe the concept of time ain't clicking with me like that. But I'm just saying, if that's what 2 minutes is, yeah, you chicks out here talking about, I don't want no 2 minute, man. Yeah, whatever. The time it took them to say what they had to say that first go round, yeah. But anyway, that ain't my point. My point is, Vance, first joint, gives you his resume. Lets you know who he is, lets you know what's going on, lets you blah, blah, blah. Then he answered the question like at the very, very end. And that was really what a lot of that was. A lot of this house building, this world building, this character building, this, yo, let me let y'all know who I am. Boom, boom, boom. It was crazy. It was great, and it was respectful. It was cool to see that both parties, both people found themselves going, I agree. And what is great about that, and I'm gonna also say this as I say that, what I also like is, more so for Vance, both politicians understand it, but Vance definitely understands, has to be aware and conscious of, we're in a social media era. We're in an era where you agree and then build upon that subject with the concept of, we're in agreement, and how can we expound on this? That makes you look, quote unquote, weak. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make the Republican Party step back, because that's gonna be the thing. People, there's a point where Vance, I guess maybe he playing for the other team, because that's how I felt a couple of times. I felt sometimes Vance was throwing ollies up and my man was just dunking them. I'm like, dude, did you just say that? And then he just took this and question, and he took that response and ran. Oh my God, whose side are you playing on, son? It was like that. You know what I mean? It was abortion or educate. It was abortion or school shooting. It was one of them. Tim Walz goes, yo, this is a healthy conversation we're having. I think he said that like 2 or 3 times. Those are the things that go viral. These dudes found something to agree on, and they're having a adult, man-to-man, healthy conversation. Nobody's belittling anyone. Nobody's calling anybody out. Nobody's over-exaggerating. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to play political positioning. That was a sincere conversation. Again, the Republicans can't allow that to be a thing. And I think that's the sad part about this whole thing. You have 2 dudes who are on oppositions agreeing with so much. Even when they're not agreeing, you can see, okay, they agree on this, they just have different ideas for it, which is what a debate is. Here's the topic. You're the affirm, you're the against. You know what I'm saying? You're the pro, you're the con. But at the same time, one thing that is for sure, you're both trying to figure out how to make this situation better. So if that person on the con says something that actually is sensible, you have no other choice to go, yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying, but We can't just do it that way. We have to have an alternative. It has to, and which is what you had with the abortion thing. He was like, yeah, you guys just have a one policy, one joint fits all. It can't be that way. Everybody has different situations. And my man was, you're right. But I just can't see us, like, who knows when that situation then turns back around to the original sin that we're talking about. That's a debate. That is two humans trying to figure out the right way to go about the justification. When are you going too far? When are you not going far enough? You know what I mean? My man Walz says, yo, so-and-so died trying to get to such and such. You know what I'm saying? So-and-so died. And my man, and Vance was like, yo, my heart goes out to them. And then he says, I agree with what you're saying. And then he, like you're supposed to, you circle back around to your point. But we can't let this, that, and the third happen. So as much as I agree with you on that, that's that situation. And that's the point that they're trying to make. Everything's a situation. And my man, and that's what it was a beautiful debate. It was no cornball stuff going on. Yeah, some numbers were inflated. Some facts were a little not factual. But I'm saying from the point of, there was a point where there was sincerity. You know what I mean? Walz had to check my man on the immigrant joint. Like, yo, you keep throwing them up in the mix. They're not to blame for everything. And just like that, your man understood, like, he agreed real quick. He like, yeah, I know you're right. You're right. I apologize. And he realized this is going to get caught up. I got to flip the game. And he flipped the game around on him. Like, because he agreed with him. Like, yeah, you're right. It's not. And boom, boom, boom. But then he circled back around and was like, yo, them immigrants. And everybody had their narrative that they wanted to paint. My man Walz was like, yo, I know about farming. We got to do stuff for clean energy. We got to do this and this. And Vance was like, yeah, I feel where you coming from. The other side of that is them small pieces that's up in them windmills. That's made from China. That's not even American made. So we got to bring that back to the jobs in the joint. You know what I'm saying? We should be making that. They agreed. He found that pocket and was like, yo, but I feel what you're saying, but we should be making that. That should be us. We out here letting the jobs go everywhere else. And salute to Tim Walz for going out here and saying the part that politicians are scared to say. You know what I'm saying? Trump did it, and I think Trump really hit people in the head when it came to that tax thing, and he looked at Hillary and was like, y'all ain't gonna stop it either. We all benefiting from this. And that, to me, I think that was one of those turning points. Dave Chappelle made a joke about it. That was a turning point for him, for a lot of people. People were like, oh, snap. He put that out there. Okay, all right, yeah, that's what's up, son. Do that. My man Walz, when they was talking about the housing, he was like, that's Wall Street. Wall Street is making it unaffordable for the American people. You know what I'm saying? That's a Wall Street thing. You know what I mean? When they was talking about drilling and doing this, and my man was like, there's just land out there. We could be doing stuff too. He was like, then that ruins the beauty of America. That's why that land's reserved. That's why that land is there. It doesn't have to be a national park. It's land. And so then they're like, yo, where do you build these houses at? And they both are like, But at the same time, here's the crazy part. There's always housing. You go down to any city and see massive space that has been bulldozed. Malls that are torn down, malls that are no longer used, but nobody's doing anything with it. Housing. Politicians don't think that way. They get so, I don't know. Well, what do we do? Where do we go? Schools. The schools that they were shutting down years ago and are probably still shutting down. Didn't want to turn them to homeless shelters, didn't want to turn them to adult schooling to help people find ways to get back on their feet into the employment era from have these welfare to work plans. No. They let millionaires and whoever, corporations come in, buy them, gut them out, turn them into either businesses or some type of living arrangement that costs crazy money. I'm not making this up. You can look this up. There are places where people have turned schools into living locations and the money is crazy for it. You could do that. You can do that. So even then, on that, there were so many times in this debate, both parties were saying something great, saying something genuine. And again, it was more of a healthy debate. Well, what about this situation? How about this situation? What do you do about that? Where you go about this? You know what I'm saying? Vance is like, man, we want clean air. We want clean water. You know what I'm saying? We're just saying all of this doesn't need to, you know what I'm saying? We can cut back on some of this though. And then that becomes the thing of, but what's the sum of this? Where does that line get drawn at? What are we talking about then? We need healthy debates like that. This was a good joint. It was good. Like, yo, even when the part when they were talking about the Haitians in Ohio, and my man said, you know how that happened? Vance was like, plus, by the way, do you know how that happens? All they had to do was sign a piece of paper, boom, 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 and they're up in here, and da-da-da-da-da. That ain't even cool. My man Walz goes, dude, that's been on the book since the 90s. Like, this ain't some overnight joint. This ain't just happened. That's a thing. That's a angle that has been in place since the 90s. Now I know everybody wants to all the social media heads want to focus on the fact when my man Vance Mike got turned off. It's cool. I get that. Everybody wants to talk about Walz having the thing where he misspoke on his year overseas doing the thing. Which when they said that to him, if you saw it, I don't know if everybody listening even saw the debate. They say it to him and they go, yo, so what was up with that? He gives his resume. Hey, dog, I was in the military. I was a teacher. I was a coach. I did this. I'm from Nebraska. I went out here to Minnesota. I'm boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And the lady was like, all right, but that wasn't the question. The question was, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't the year you was out there doing all that. And my man clearly says, I misspoke. I saw people jumping on that. Can't trust him. He lying like that. Then you had other people going, if that is your ick, then that dude should be vice president then. That dude should be president then. Like, if that's all y'all can come away with is he misspoke on a wrong year. Dude, there are people that you talk to right now, listeners who are listening. Every single one of y'all, I know for myself, have had a conversation with someone who went, oh man, last Tuesday, such and such and such happened. And then, you know what I'm saying? You're talking to somebody else about last Tuesday and be like, that wasn't Tuesday, that was Monday. Huh? And then you go, and that person go, oh, yeah, you're right, that was Monday. Misspoke, and that was last week. You asking this man in 2024 to remember what happened in those days, like back then, and what was that, 70-something? That's what y'all saying. There are people that misspeak, that get the wrong date for last week, last month. And y'all worried about a man doing some joint that he said was in the 70s or something like that. He gave the wrong answer. Forget him. He's untrustworthy. Everybody is untrustworthy at that point then, because we've all done it. We've all done it. And it's been as small as something as insignificant as a day in a week of the month that you're currently in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all done it. We've all done it. had a conversation with somebody. Oh man, remember? I think what was that, like 05? Nah, son, that wasn't 05. That was like 06, maybe even 07. Huh? For real? Yeah. That was 06 or 07. I remember because of the album that was out, and we was playing that joint super hard. Like yo, we was playing that joint crazy. Like that CD was popping all over the place. We was just rocking with that joint. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, 05. That joint wasn't even out in 05. What was I thinking? I don't know. That doesn't make that person a bad person. The debate was crazy. The whole point of, like I said, the narrative of trying to make the immigrants the reason why everything is the problem. And so, again, salute to Walz for being the person saying the things that you need to say. Like I said, when it came to the housing, he was like, oh, that's Wall Street. When they were talking about, oh, they're coming to get our jobs, he was like, that's not them. You got to blame the people hiring them. He says that out loud for the people. When they go, oh man, they shipping the job. We're the, you know what I'm saying, the Democrats are the reason why the jobs are going overseas. He's like, dude, I was in the union. You don't know how bad it hurt to have your job stripped away to you and then taken somewhere else because they don't want to pay you and they don't want to pay them taxes. You know what I'm saying? That's that. They don't want to pay you a higher wage and they don't want to deal with them taxes. So they go, this, me or you, that ain't got nothing to do with it. A lot of that's corporate greed. My man kind of had that look like, like he didn't agree. He didn't verbally agree, but as Walz was saying it, and they did the split screen, he's looking at him, and he had that look like, and he looks at the camera like, hey, that's what I'm saying. I felt that was one of the moments I felt like he gave my man the lob, like, yo, what you gonna do with it? It's up there, son. Boom. Sean Kemp joint. Testicles in somebody's face all up on their neck and stuff. Boom. And then he just points at him with the like he did with Gatlin. Yeah, son. But I'm just saying, he was just out here saying things that needed to be said. Both people were saying things that needed to be said. And it's crazy that the takeaway is we agree on so much, but we choose to find that one thing to go, oh, that's going to be the reason. And immigrants is that reason. My man, even Walz brought that up. He was like, yo, you know how the game go. It was on the joint. It was on the books. It was Republicans and Democrats came together, was like, this is what we're going to do. Cool. Let's get down. Trump makes a bunch of phone calls. All these phone calls hit. Yo, I'm about to make that my thing. I'm about to put my focus on how they suck on this whole wall and the immigration joint. My man Walz goes, yo, I did 2% of the wall. We were coming up with plans to do what all that is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't want to get down. Vance admits Biden kept a lot of joints going. The theory is Kamala is going to take them away. You're not supposed to say that to the people. And trust me, if it was Biden running, you wouldn't have even heard that. That Biden kept some of that stuff. He kept the stuff that worked. He kept the stuff that worked as far as what he could see. Oh, this works. Nah, don't change that. We keeping this. I likes this. This is official. Let's do this. And they're like, oh, and Kamala's gonna come and take that away. But do you really know that for sure? You know what I'm saying? Trump adamantly told you he was going to get rid of Obamacare. You know what I'm saying? We all remember that. We all remember how that went down. People hated Obamacare, but they loved that Affordable Care Act. Didn't understand that they both were the same thing. The wording is what people didn't like. Oh yeah, I can't stand that Obamacare. We need to get rid of that. Yeah, so then we're gonna get so you don't want the Affordable Care Act. No, I want that. I just don't want Obamacare. And people just gotta stare at him like, Obamacare is the nickname. Yeah, Yeah, no. Obamacare is the nickname. No, I'm telling you, Julius. You want to hang out with Julius? Yeah. Like Junebug coming in like 15 minutes. Man, I can't stand Junebug. Julius is Junebug. Junebug is Julius. They the same person. Oh, for real? Man, look, but I heard a lot of bad things about Junebug. But I've been chilling with Julius for a minute. Julius cool. Same person, dog. Same person. This affordable healthcare kind of was working a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel where it's going. I don't want that Obamacare though. It's the same thing, dog. It's the same thing. So what did Trump do? Nothing really. Like, yeah. And every once in a while they still try to tell you they're gonna do something to it, but they're like, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna get back around to this debate. Obama told people. Obama told the Republicans as he was in office, if anything, make changes to it, make it better. This right now, this is what it is. If it works, it works. Add on to it to make it work better. Coming back to this debate, that's what you had with the joint, right? With the tariff, the ones that worked. Biden was like, oh, that joint, we good. We gonna worry about Kamala gonna take all of that joint away. No, she's not. She's gonna do the same thing Biden did. Oh no. These joints are good. This is official. Let's ride with these then. We're in a different world. What I love about the Harris-Walz side of this is they're trying to tell you we agree on so much more than we disagree on. So why focus on the stuff that we don't agree on? And why not just build off of what we do agree on, and then when we get to the stuff that we don't agree on, figure out a way to make it work. Which then goes back to what I said at the beginning, where these two men look like gentlemen having healthy conversations about stuff that they don't agree with, and have different ideologies, and are throwing them at each other respectfully. Not some cold word, wink, wink, sarcastic manner, but truly, genuinely, respectfully, and making that, and giving you that connection. Our country needs that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want another debate. I don't care. I'm glad they're not even going to do another debate, supposedly, right? This was the best way to do it. Like I said, if you're sitting around here trying to grab onto your side and go, our side was better at that, and they suck, and the old boy suck, whichever side you're on, the opposite has to be the trash one. You are the problem, because you basically going, I don't care what they saying, I'm riding with this. These two men took their sides respectfully, represented their sides respectfully, and let you know that it doesn't need to be this hatred. It doesn't need to be that. You know what I'm saying? When I told y'all the Trump-Harris debate was trash and was messy, that's what I meant. This debate should have been that debate. This debate shouldn't have been a bunch of, because everything that they said on that Trump-Harris debate was stuff that you were seeing on social media. Small crowds. And don't get it twisted, Walz. I think Walz took a jab at that, and Vance took a jab at some of the stuff with Kamala. But then they got into the real debate. I'm not even gonna act like that didn't happen. Like they weren't poking bears at first. They weren't trying to be funny and real snippy at first. I ain't gonna go there. I left that part out because it's not needed. It was such a small piece of the bigger picture. You know what I mean? But the flip side is that when you looked at Trump and Harris, that was that completely. It was all about that. Trying to get up under the other one's skin, trying to bruise egos. It had nothing to do with politics. It was that. Oh, wait, man, look, if she get in office, the world's gonna explode. Like, it's gonna be terrible. Oh man, he a felon. He did it. It wasn't politics. These two people gave you politics, and they spoke about policies. Whether, again, if you agreed or not, they spoke about politics, policies, ideologies, and they gave it to you, and then bounced those ideas off of each other. There was a point numerous times where they just, okay, I see what you're saying, but you have a chance to, can I respond back to that? No, not really, but, and salute to them two chicks who were abruptly cutting joints off. Like, no, next, we gonna talk about, they was like, no, next, you know what I'm saying? And the shorty in the pink, salmon, I don't know what we want to call that now, but the pink with the blonde streaks in the joint. You know what I mean? I could swear to God, I thought she was I didn't even know what I was looking at. I saw her, I was like, yo, is she a Saturday Night Live broad? Like, she looks like she should be a Saturday Night Live broad. I could see the Saturday Night Live broad in my head that's gonna play her Saturday. I can see that joint. Matter of fact, I can see it. The other broad, I don't know about. Like, she was stoic. She you know what I mean? She don't even look like she had fun. The redhead broad didn't even look like she had fun. Like, I don't do nothing that's fun. Like, she just, like, her jaw was like, she looked like that one teacher when you in school that, like, and who knows, she might be a cool person. Everybody had that one teacher in your school. Remember, like, you're in that grade, you're like the grade before you happen to see that teacher walk by all the time. Or the grades before, you know what I'm saying? The teacher that's in the grades before you get to that actual grade, and you see him walking all the time, and you're just like, oh my God, that's a mean teacher. That's a mean teacher. That's a mean teacher. And they tell you that that's the class that you're going to be in, and you be like, oh my God, and end up being a cool teacher. I don't front. Everybody's been there. Everybody's been there. There are some that are straight just, nah. Like, there was a dude, fourth grade, Mr. Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Balding white man with the mustache, tall, lanky, corduroy pants all the time. He looked like what he was. He was stern. He was about that life. It won't gonna be good up in that class. Like, he was really like, yeah, son, what it is, huh? What? But the other side of that is, there was another teacher, Miss Mays, 5th grade. She, from a distance, when you saw her in 4th and 3rd and 4th grade, when you saw her walk by, she looked like her and Miss Kelly, because Miss Kelly looked like Michael Jackson from the Bad album. But you know what I'm saying? She had the mushroom joint, and her mushroom joint had the little shag joint that went all the way back, and she always had the power suits on, and with a tie type joint, not like a tie, but like she was something around her neck, a scarf or something. And she was click-clacking with her heels, and every time, like in 4th grade, you see her just walk by up in the cafeteria, walking fast, and you just, and she looking, she's staring at the students, looking at the students, grilling them. A lot of us ended up in Miss Kelly's class. Miss Kelly was the realest joint going. And Miss Mays was a math teacher. So you would go to, like, a lot of us would go to Miss Mays' class for math. Miss Mays was the nicest person. I'm talking Granny from Looney Tunes baking cookies. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how everybody doing? And da-da-da-da-da. Oh my God, you guys, oh my God. That was her thing. Oh my. That was her thing. Oh my. Like, but mean mugging. Just mean looking. At the door, she'll just stand there with the arms crossed. Mean mugging everybody as they come in. Close the door. How's everybody doing today? this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday. Like what? What? You out here got the whole, like, it's intimidation for the underclasses. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just saying, perception, maybe. I don't know where I'm going with that. I ended up just telling the whole story and not knowing where I was going with that. My bad, y'all. We might not even keep this. My bad. Told y'all, that's what happened when you just got a lot of joint in your head. You're all over the place. But what I'm saying is, there is a point where perception and reality needs to be rocked. You can be against each other, but for the betterment of the country. And that debate with the vice presidents, I felt like these are two dudes who wanted to make the country better, who wanted to be in on making the country better. Yes, for that split hour and a half, I totally forgot that Vance was one of the writers for Project 2025. The guy that I saw on television can't be that dude, because there was no out of this world extreme like conversations. There was no out of this world extreme arguments. He didn't say nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this can't be the same dude. This can't be the same guy. Walz didn't look like the fun dude. Like, y'all seen him, like when he's out here touring with Kamala, he's the fun guy. He's the cool guy. He's the fun grandpa. You know what I'm saying? There's grandpa on this side of the family, and then there's that grandpa, and that grandpa, the fun grandpa. That grandpa be kicking it. Like, hey man, let's go out here. Boom, boom, what y'all doing? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? That's the grandpa that'll throw the football with you. Hey, what's up? What up? You know what I'm saying? That's the grandpa that teach you how to get your shot off. You know what I mean? That's the grandpa that's nudging you when the little girls is looking at you. Hey, you know her? Not well, she been eyeing you down this whole time while you been here. You got you a girlfriend yet? Granddad, you know, ain't got no girlfriend. She wanna be your girlfriend. That's what he was, right? That's the vibe he gave you. Man, at that debate, he was so 100% like, yo, I've been out here. I've been in the real world. I'm trying to make the real world better. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring jobs back to America. They agreed on jobs need to be held in America. They agreed on that. I want to bring stability back to America. I want this to be an America that my kids and my kids' kids can flourish in. They agreed on this. The other debate before this one didn't give you that vibe. They didn't give you the vibe that we are both wanting to the best for America. They were too busy telling you how much the other one is going to mess it up. This was not that. This was not that at all. Salute to both of them dudes. Thank y'all for listening. Look, if you listen to this thinking I was going to go out here and say something crazy about the other side, I'm sorry. Oh, and that's on either side. I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? Because I swear to God, my email and my phone would tell you I'm a Republican, because I keep getting a bunch of, like, my phone be listening to my conversations when I be out here going, yeah, Trump got a point, though. Ooh. Nah, son. Nah. But this was it was a good debate. I wish all debates were like that. You know what I mean? All political debates need to start off with the basis of, we're trying to do something great. This is how I think we should do it. This is how I think we should do it. But there's a point where they agree on this much. They just have different ways of getting it done. You know what I mean? But anyway, thank y'all for listening. We're going to have the regular joints come through. Also, we're not, I don't even know how to say we're behind, but we're oddly scheduled up. There's a lot of joints going on. A lot of things are jumping off, man. It's just life, man. But anyway, thank y'all for rocking. And, oh, snap. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys, yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot that. I was about to get right into the end of this joint right here. And the end of it is, they say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.